Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
G'day.
On the show today, some families are closer than others, as it turns out. We talk to people who have hooked up with more than one member of the same family.
Yeah. How much fun can you have in prison with the soccer? The answer is a lot. We're going to chat to journalist Ben Harvey about that.
We also have a chat about when fences and barriers were put in place for a reason.
Yes, Sean. Respect the signs, all right?
I saw the sign.
And hallelujah, Nick Cannon has had another child, and oh my gosh, you're going to want to name yours after this one.
This is Nathan, Nat and Sean.
I watched something last night.
Nathan, I mean, we're running out of chances, so...
Turned on 10 Peach. Can't ever say I've said that again before. 10 Peach. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, no, I've seen something on there, a cooking show that got me watching about 10 minutes
Wow.
worth just the other day. But yes, no one watches it, and no one watches Neighbours. That's why it's finished, Nathan. But you took it in.
Yeah, so I was sort of like, it had already kicked off, and I was like, who are all these people? Just waiting to see someone that I recognise.
Okay, so because you're looking at the current cast.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
like Toadie, that's it. Who else do we know?
And then suddenly
Paul Robinson.
Harold popped up, and
Oh,
then
lovely.
I saw Paul, and
Yeah.
and then I started seeing some of our favourites, and then there was a lot of repeat guests. Jodie Gordon was on there as well.
Oh, right.
By the way, you know what's lacking with the NRL and Manly at the moment with inclusivity?
Yep.
They are not lacking with that in Neighbours. There were two lesbian couples and a gay couple literally within the 10 minutes that I was watching. It should be
Very
called-
progressive now that they're finishing.
It should have been renamed Neighbours.
Ramsay Street. It's come a
It
long
was
way.
like Oxford Street in Sydney. I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So, I mean, well done to Neighbours for doing
Yes.
that. I mean, obviously, it hasn't stopped you from
Last
getting axed.
final little pride parade.
Yeah, unbelievable. But one thing, one of the characters that did return last night was Natalie Bassingthwaite as Izzy.
Izzy, yes.
We spoke to Alan Fletcher, who plays Dr. Carl Kennedy the other
just
day
yesterday.
about Izzy, because his character, Dr. Carl, had an affair with Izzy and then end up leaving Susan Kennedy
father
for her.
to her baby, I
right.
think. Yes.
Yes. So anyway, Izzy's come back into the street. Do you want to know what the twist is?
Yes, please, Oliver.
She is dating Carl and Susan's son, Mal. She is dating Carl and Susan's son, Mal. Susan
She likes that gene pool, obviously.
ropeable.
Of course.
Because they want to buy a house in Ramsay Street. Because at the moment, instead of, I think the way the series should end is it should collapse into a sinkhole.
Yes.
Everyone at the
They
same
didn't
time.
have the budget for the special effects. so-
Everyone at the same time is like suddenly going on and selling up and leaving. It's actually quite stupid. But yeah, so there's Susan and Carl's house, and then there's the house next door to that, whoever lives there, and then they want to buy the house next door to that. And Susan is not having it, and she ended up giving her son, Malcolm, a ultimatum and said it's either me or her, and that's how the episode ended up. We know that ultimatums don't work out
Yeah,
well.
they never.
Well, I understand Susan's
The
point of
boys
view,
never
don't you?
pick their mum,
Yes.
just quietly.
I know, they should, because we know what happens in the end.
Sean,
Yes, friend.
if you knew that your father had taken Megan as a lover,
Oh, poor dad.
could you have gone there afterwards?
Of course not. Of course not.
But yet it's not rare, and I'm sure
No.
it happens here in Perth. One person going through certain family members
Yes.
of the
But it
same
could be
family.
brother. But it could be brothers. Or
Okay,
cousin
your
or
brother,
Yep.
Ben.
Yep.
Right? So Ben was with me.
Or the
He
other one-
always, he
the other
always
one we've
reckons
never
he's better
heard of.
looking than everyone in our family. So yeah, he would say, I could take anyone.
So you just assume anyone you've been with Ben.
Hello to his lovely wife, Nicole. It's a good catch, Nicole.
What about you, Nat?
Hang on. It sounds like you're trying to pick up Nicole just quietly.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's lovely too.
Yeah.
We're a close family.
Yeah. What about you?
What about me? Have
Yeah.
I ever hooked up with two members of the same family?
Yes.
Is that the question?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Why?
I can see it happening with
Brothers?
Yeah.
Oh,
Especially
so
when
Rodney,
you...
then Greg.
No, they're my own brothers.
Have you
I know
hooked
your
up with
family.
your own brother?
I know, it's pretty full on.
Hell no.
Natalie.
They're on the farm together.
I
It's like
mean,
community.
like, love is
that's
love,
true.
but come on, I'm not wearing a jumper to celebrate that. I think siblings can be a thing, right?
Especially when
Okay.
you're younger, I reckon.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think if it's a parent and then
Yes.
it's the child and the parent situation, I don't know.
But you do know.
I don't
You do know. Dr. Carl and then... Yeah.
Don't know if you could park your car in a driveway your dad's been in.
I don't think so. So you do know.
Yeah, we do know. The answer's no. Whether you've been craving the ocean, snow, mountains, or city lights, there are so many possibilities for you and your next trip.
Yeah, make up for missed holidays and explore more of Oz with whatif.com.
Jump online or on the What If app.
What if? It's Aussie for travel. We're talking about, well, keeping it in the family, basically.
That's right. I don't know if you followed Neighbours, but I dipped in last night. And Izzy, who had a relationship with Dr. Carl, an affair with Dr. Carl back in the day, has now moved on to his son, Malcolm.
That affair produced a child, if I remember correctly, which means that Malcolm is now both the half-brother and the stepfather of that kid.
So then Susan should get with the child?
Yeah, that only makes sense now.
How does that work out mathematically? She would
Not
be
well.
She's not related to the child. It's fine by blood.
That's right. It's fine.
There you go. If only on for another season. Had it pegged.
Emma's in Mandurah. Hi, Emma.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, Emma.
We're talking about being in a relationship with more than one member of the same family. What have you got for us?
So ours is a bit awkward because it's still in the family. So my partner's actually been with my sister-in-law, who is currently engaged to his brother, and she has also been with the cousin as well.
I mean...
What an attractive family.
God, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's right. She can't get
You
enough.
know what? When it's so hot that you don't have to leave your own family function.
Yeah,
You know
that's
what I mean?
right.
It's like, I'll just get someone else. Okay, so is it awkward at all? How did it all happen?
It was a very small town that they all grew up in, so I guess there was small pickings in that town. It was pretty awkward when I found out, because I found out once my partner and I had been dating for a little bit, and he accidentally brought up that he'd been with his sister-in-law. Who we were currently living in the house with. So
That's a conversation,
How did you
isn't it?
accidentally bring that up, Emma? Just thought it was funny, or?
yeah, a little bit. So it was a bit naughty. So obviously, I was one girl that had been the first to do something with him, and then he had actually mentioned that his sister-in-law had done it to him as well.
Okay.
And that's
I would
playing
suggest
Scrabble.
That's not the
Yes.
way to bring it up.
That is so
Yeah, definitely
funny,
not.
Em.
Wow, Em, thank you.
Yeah. Has the awkwardness now subsided and it is what it is?
Yeah, we laugh about it now when they've got a kid together. So I said to my partner, I can't wait to tell him that their uncle and mum have been together.
I know. Welcome
Beautiful.
to the Jerry Springer Show.
There
Thank
you go.
you, Emma.
That works.
Adele, hello.
Hello.
Hi, Adele.
Right.
Adele.
What have you got for us?
Well, I have two children with one brother, and I'm now married to the younger brother and have two children with him.
Well, you're
Oh,
living this. You're living this.
So the cousins...
They're uncles and cousins.
So the cousins are cousin brothers?
No, they're two
Yes.
brothers.
No, the
Yeah,
children.
so-
The children would now
Yeah,
be
the children, yes.
cousin
So my
brothers.
children, yes, are cousins as well.
So they're cousin brothers.
Cousin half brothers.
Pardon, sorry?
Cousin half brothers, yeah.
Cousin
Yeah.
half brothers,
Yeah.
your children are.
Yes. Yes.
But also
Okay.
the dads are uncles to the other half of the kids.
So uncle fathers.
Yes.
Adele, how's
Yes.
how's the relationship between the two brothers?
It was okay, but we don't talk anymore.
Yeah,
Okay.
right.
All right, so
Because of
So-
this?
so-
how did that all happen? How did it happen?
Well, I had one child with one brother,
Yeah.
and I was pregnant with the second one
Yeah.
when he decided to stray elsewhere.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
So then the younger brother decided to step in and raise the two older children, and then 5 years later we just had another child. Well, we had a child of our own. So
Wow.
Oh, so the
Yeah.
younger brother
Bit of a-
decided he's going to step up and help you out.
And then
he
you
helped
realise
out.
what a
Yeah.
great guy he is.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Wow.
Amazing.
Wow.
We were talking about this off air.
We just
about
were
that.
talking about that when a brother steps in and steps up to
Yes.
the plate, usually when someone's passed.
Yeah, that's right.
And I said, I think that's super sweet, and I think that's really lovely too. What's a father like? Any good?
No.
I was going to say, it's good to have options.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
We've posed the question, do things that happen on Ramsay Street and Neighbours happen in real life too?
Yeah, you see, Dr. Carl years ago had an affair with a woman named Izzy, and now Izzy has rocked back up to Ramsay Street from last night's episode, and she is with Dr. Carl's son, Mal.
What? Nat Bass?
Yeah, Tegan's in Perth. Hi, Tegan.
Hey, how are you?
Good, Tegs.
We're
What have
loving
you-
these.
What have you got for us, Tegs?
So, we have a group of friends, and I found out that I had been with one of the guys that my sister had been with, because obviously he bragged to your sister. And yeah, she's like, I'd already been with him. So And we're twins.
Oh,
Did he realise he'd been with both of you, or did he think he'd just been
Of
with one of
course
you?
he did. He
Okay,
had
just
to.
checking.
So that's a bucket list situation
Yeah.
for some men, isn't it, Sean? To tick
so
off
they
twins.
say. Not for me.
Yeah. Oh no, you don't like any of that sort of
No.
stuff. So did it progress any further, or was it just a hookup?
No, it's pretty much just a hookup, but we're all still pretty good friends.
Yeah.
Oh really?
Oh, that's okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he would be loving himself sick
God.
over that.
You know what? Yeah, you know what though? Wouldn't it be so frustrating for him if you had a triplet that lived overseas? He's like, I want to get the set.
I mean,
I want to get the set.
Thanks, Tegan. Fiona, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Oh,
Great,
Fiona.
Fee. All right, what have you got for us?
So my mum and dad were together for about 15 years, and he actually left my mum for her sister.
Okay, so wait there again.
So my mum and he left my mum for
Mum's
her
sister.
sister, so my auntie,
Oh no.
and pretty much was with her for 30 years. They only broke up, which was the best thing that happened about a year ago. But yeah, pretty much destroyed our family.
Was your
Fiona.
mum just devoed?
Yes, she was devastated.
So did it cause a rift between the two sisters?
oh yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
massive.
Few
Okay.
punches
I could
fights,
imagine.
Yeah, lots of things happening.
But your dad ended up being with, your auntie for 30 years. Around 30
Yeah.
years.
Wow.
So that is a love story.
So did she
It is,
become?
you can't
Did she
deny that.
become your auntie mum?
No, she becomes something that I probably can't say on air.
We probably say that off air. We'll say it for you. So your relationship with your father, how did that go?
Yeah, it was a bit crazy for a couple of years, but now that he's not with her, we've got a relationship now, which is good.
Wow, that is so full on. And how did your mum end up? Did she end up going on and finding someone else?
No, unfortunately not. She's got really quite bad health problems and stuff.
No.
So
Oh.
hopefully karma will get her one day.
No
Yes.
wonder you were super protective over that situation.
Yeah, of
then,
course you would be, wouldn't
so,
you?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Full on.
Thanks so much.
Fee.
Got another one to wrap things up.
What about Dino from Wanneroo? Hey, Dino.
Yeah, hey, how y'all doing?
Oh, Dino.
Good, buddy.
We're
All right.
excited.
We're ready. Hit us with it.
Right, well, it's not quite incestuous. but
Thank you.
Okay,
see you,
it,
mate.
Dino.
Where?
No, we're in. We're looking forward to it, Dino.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, okay, my brother, I think he's got a little bit of Elton John, Rod Stewart complex. He thinks he can just keep having kids all his life.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, he's got 3 daughters, and they've all had kids. So, his grandkids,
Yep.
and then he decides, like, 15 years later, I'm just going to have some more kids.
Yeah, okay.
So now his kids are the younger, by about 3 or 4 years, the younger uncles and aunties to their older nieces and nephews.
Yes.
Oh, my
yes.
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
I love this scenario, Dino, because one of my mates growing up, my really good friends, he was younger than his auntie and his aunties, and they were both we're all in the same year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, wow.
he was the youngest out of all of them. He was
Yep.
born later in the year, but yeah, his aunties were in the same
Yeah.
year as him.
No, his nieces.
His
Nieces.
he was the uncle.
He was the uncle, yes, and his nieces are in the same
Yeah.
year as him. It was
I think that happens a bit.
Yeah.
It's so interesting. So, do you reckon your brother's just going to keep on like having children?
Oh, God, I hope not.
Oh my God!
How many are we up to now, Dino?
He's got 6 now.
And what are the ages?
Okay, so 35
Yep.
down to 28, 30. They're all in their 30s.
Yep.
Then the grandkids are 12s and 13.
Yep.
Yep.
Then his kids, the uncles and aunties, are 7s and 8s.
They're the fresh ones.
And so I'm wondering how it's going to work out later on when they say, respect me because I'm older than
Yes,
you.
this is your uncle speaking. You do what I say. It's
Isn't
like,
it?
yeah, but
My
your
uncle,
sister's
yeah.
younger than me.
They'll just be mates. Because they're in the same age.
It's pretty funny, isn't
area.
it?
Can I just say, how frustrating for women to have a biological clock that's ticking
Yes.
as loud as possible, and men can
keep going
produce
forever.
children until the day they die.
Ali was talking about this in the newsroom
Oh,
about
really?
20 minutes ago.
If there was any fairness in the world, it should be a stage where men, just
Yes. Just dries
and
up.
powder comes out.
Nathan, Nat, and Sean.
Okay, there is a very, very interesting and I would say laugh out loud article this morning in the West Australian that has been done by Chief Reporter Ben Harvey. Hello, Ben.
Morning, everyone.
G'day, Ben.
Ben, I firstly have to say I love all of your work.
Mm-hmm.
Nathan's a big fan.
I think you're so funny.
You and my mum.
Great judges, as it turns out.
I love your take on things, especially when you were going through. I can't remember who it was, but one of the a recent bikie, a little while back actually, he was selling his house, and then you went on a rant about how he has Smeg appliances.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that was Dane Brakovich, the man that just got a swastika tattoo on his face. He's
I didn't see that.
Angry man.
Yeah. So he had like a
He's got Smeg
he had
appliances.
like a Smeg kettle and a Smeg toaster.
Yeah, it was,
That's
I was
really
like,
hilarious.
That's better decked out than I am. I'm on the Kmart stuff. And he's got European goods.
I remember seeing him on a flight one day, Ben, and he said g'day to me, and I think, you got to say hello back, otherwise you can get a headlock before you know it.
Absolutely. No, you always say hello back, otherwise you sweat every time you turn your car on.
That's right.
I really love your take on bikies, actually, because I always wonder, if they're having a party, do they ever bring chips and a dip?
You get to the bottom of things.
Yeah,
then.
you do. So tell us what's happened in prison and what it has to do with the soccer match.
Well, this was in Wooroloo Prison Farm, and it was on May 28th. It was the UEFA Grand Final between Liverpool and Real Madrid. And a bunch of bikies who were inside, including some pretty heavy characters. We're talking the former state commander for the Comancheros and some, a rebel who set another dude on fire because he didn't do what he wanted him to do. And then when he doused him out with water, he waterboarded him. It was pretty full on.
You know what that's terrible about that? That's a lot of fire and then too much water
afterwards. I know.
Afterwards.
It's an extreme life.
Yes.
It's an extreme life in the 1%.
And my favourite one, who is the lesser of all the crimes, of attempting to smuggle 9.5 million cigarettes into WA.
Yeah, well, he was the clean skin of the crew.
Yeah,
he
wasn't
was
he
like
just?
a junior.
Yeah.
They decided they wanted to watch the grand final. It kicked off at 2:30 in the morning, and they went to the prison bosses and said, "Is it okay if we do this?" And bizarrely, the prison bosses went, "Okay." And so, at 2:30 in the morning, they came out of their cells, they went to a common area, and they had themselves a little soccer party, and they were allowed to stay out until 5:30 in the morning, according to the documents I saw. And this is the thing that kills me.
Yeah.
It said, however, if there's a playoff, they can stay out till 6.
So if it went to penalties and
Penalty
extra
shootout,
time.
extra time.
That's right. That's right. In the end, it didn't go out to penalty, so they actually had to be back in time for muster at 5:30 in the morning. I don't know if they were Liverpool fans or if they were Real Madrid fans, but, when you're in jail, that's not a bad way to spend an evening.
Oh,
Not
mate.
too bad
And
at all.
Not just that, as we know, when anyone is having a bit of a soccer party, of course, the catering is in question. Did they get to go to the commissary, and was there, or did they have to BYO their own toilet vodka?
Well,
what happened?
The thing about Wooroloo is it's a prison farm, and so they make all their own stuff. It's all organic, and I'm quite certain that there would have been some homemade hummus or something like that.
I know, down some carrot sticks.
So it's like the MasterChef compound when they just went out into the herb gardens and stuff and just grabbed some things.
Now, Ben, your article says that the Corrective Services Minister, Bill Johnson, said it helped the prisoners get ready for release. Now, how does sitting up all night watching soccer prepare them for release?
Well, this is Bill Johnson, the Corrective Services Minister. He's in between a rock and a hard place here because he knows that this does not pass the pub test in any way, shape or form for anyone, let alone some, between them these bikies were either conspiring to or actually did import industrial quantities of methamphetamine into Western Australia.
Well, then they can stay up late, can't they, quite easily?
I hadn't slept all night. Hadn't slept for 3 nights.
Then they clean the place down in about 5 minutes.
So he should come out and bag it and say it's inappropriate, etc., etc. But he knows that if he does that, he's going to get the prison bosses offside. He doesn't want that.
Yes.
And he also realises at the end of the day, these guys, despite the severity of their crimes, have been assessed as low risk.
Yep.
And at some point soon, they are going to come out of jail. And when that happens, I am going to tell them that you made me write that story.
You want to hope so. Hey, Ben, given there are at the Wooroloo as a prison farm, stuff like this, watching the soccer and doing that, Is it unusual, though?
It is. This is very unusual.
Okay.
So they do have, the idea is when you're in the prison farm, you are living quite a normal life. You're going to work every day and you are allowed to have certain things as a reward for doing the right thing. This is unusual because these particular people are seen as enforcers in the jail.
Yeah.
And the idea is, the suggestion is, the prison is so understaffed and it's on such a piano string that they rely on these guys to maintain order, and they were. Because let's face it, if the one-time state commander of the Comancheros Outlaw Motorcycle Gang comes up to you and says, pull your head in, you're going to pull your head in.
True.
So they're sort of like the student council of the yard, aren't they, really?
Yeah, they were like the prefects.
Yeah, wow. I just feel sad because I am all for prisoners given opportunities like this. I really am. But for all prisoners. I just think, like, you know, like if you're going to can't everyone come to the soccer party?
Yeah, most definitely.
That's the thing. You know, I don't think that they were the only people that wanted to.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA finals were on at the same time. So.
Turns out prison isn't a classless society.
Yeah. I just hope they all get to watch maths and stuff together, you know? I really hope.
Well, I would say they're suffering enough in prison, Nathan.
I was going to say, you watch maths when you've done something wrong.
Okay, whenever you learn a release date of prisoners like this, do you start looking at different places to live?
It's funny, not funny.
Ben, the question, I mean, I know that as a quality journalist, you're probably not going to reveal your sources, but how did you find out about it?
Well, I'm not going to reveal those sources.
Because we're both being
Let's
our
just say
lives in
that
danger.
there are 7,000 prisons in Western Australia across 18 different facilities, and there are many thousands of people who look after them. So there's no shortage of people who know what's going on.
I know your game.
But how many have your number?
No, I know your game. I know for sure.
Everyone's got my number.
If you go to Ben's house right now, there's a scarecrow outfit. And he goes and stands in the garden and just observes. You are bloody funny, and we want you on more often because I love every.
And also a quality journalist.
No, that was a great story.
Journalist. I love that little sort of tagline.
Yeah.
Bloody funny and a quality journalist.
Yeah, that's right. It's a great combination. Don't knock it. Thanks for talking to us, Ben.
And watch your back.
No, I am.
Ben Harvey from the West Australian.
And we were the last person to ever speak to him.
You're listening to Nathan, Nat and Sean.
If you know anything about me, I respect signs, I respect fences, I respect barriers.
There, he said it.
And he rang his own bell.
If there is a sign that says don't do something, I will not do it.
Because if someone's gone to the effort of putting up a sign, usually there's a reason for that.
If there is a fence that says do not cross, I do not cross it. If there is a barrier that says do not pass, I shall not pass. Sean.
I think I live in the grey area of that, Nate.
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
You're not really a rule follower, are you? Because you think things don't apply to you specifically.
Yeah. I guess you're right, Nat.
Yeah.
And that's worked really successful.
Well,
Anyway.
in Mexico at a zoo, a 14-year-old boy named Jose, he believes what Sean Manus believes, and that is these are merely serving suggestions.
That's right.
And he was very intrigued by the jaguar.
Where he's there.
Oh,
Sounds like a
Diego.
wildcat.
And why wouldn't you? I think you want to get a little bit of a photo situation.
Oh,
You know what I
right.
mean? Get right up and close and personal. He hopped over a fence, which of course
At a zoo, it's a great idea.
is not what you should do. And then he approached the enclosure. So there's a fence and then there's the caged area.
Yes.
Thinking that he would be okay because then the jaguar pit
Yeah, it was a bit lower.
is quite low. So he probably thought, well, they're down there. I'm up here. I'm going to get a little photo, try and,
Yep.
get amongst it. Jaguars can jump high.
Yeah, they can.
And this one pounced up and grabbed his foot and basically
Sound like a
tore it
puma.
open. So, and then took his shoe, of all things, the greatest of
come
insults. Not only ripped his left foot apart, but also took his shoe. And this is why you've got to respect fences and barriers.
I agree with you.
And
Or a
signs.
jaguar will bite your foot off.
It's like that guy. Remember we spoke about him the other week. The guy that was Mount Vesuvius.
Vesuvius.
And he went up there and he went off he went down the forbidden track. They said, "Do not go off this track."
That's true.
He went on the track.
He dropped his phone into the volcano and then he fell in afterwards trying to get it. Bad things happen.
He survived.
That is so
You fall in a volcano.
Yes. You get
eaten by a jaguar.
Don't go down the forbidden track.
Don't.
You would, though. You would think it didn't apply to you specifically.
Well, yes. And I would know what would happen. I'd get attacked by a cougar/puma/jaguar.
You would fall down the volcano and get attacked by a jaguar.
That's 100%. Nothing truer said today.
Nathan, Nat and Sean in podcast form.
We are learning why we should respect signs, barriers and fences.
Or you'll get eaten by a jaguar.
That's true.
Kieran, hello.
How you going?
Hey, Kieran,
Good, buddy. Tell us why we should respect the fence or the barrier.
Okay, well, this one goes back many years ago. I was actually working in the Perth Zoo on the elephant enclosure for Trish, believe it or not.
Oh, were you, Kieran?
R.I.P.
She was been in the papers recently, so
yes.
Quite fitting. But I was actually working on a high wall, which actually backed onto the monkey enclosure. And the high wall was actually, I was working right on the edge of the wall on the backing onto the elephant enclosure, and all my workmates were about 5 feet away from me, sort of thing. And next thing, I got grabbed from behind and started getting thrown around like a rag doll
by the monkeys.
By one of the chimpanzees, and stuck his hand through the cage, and there's about 10 of them all jumping around, screaming and swinging around the cage.
They were double daring him.
Oh, Kieran, I would have loved to have seen that.
That's dangerous. They're so strong.
It is dangerous, but Jesus,
they are so strong, and all of my mates were like falling on the floor laughing. They thought it was so funny, and it was like, looking back, it was hilarious, but at the time, absolutely give me the fright of my life.
Yeah,
it was so strong.
What is it like being tossed around by a bunch of chimpanzees?
Yeah, it was actually one, but the rest of them actually had the biggest sense of humour as well. They thought it was so funny. They're all screaming in the cage as well.
So all the chimps' mates are laughing and all your mates were laughing.
Exactly, yeah. It was like a barrel of monkeys.
Yeah, literally.
God,
wow. That'd be great to see.
Yeah. I know you could have gotten bitten. Luckily you didn't.
Yeah.
It could have taken you as a lover. And then your mates would have been buckled over.
Yes. Thanks, Kieran.
I like it.
Caroline, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Good, Caroline.
Tell us why we need to respect a fence or a sign, Caroline.
I had my work colleagues laughing at me. So I work for a government department, and we've got all fleet vehicles kind of out in the open, and we've got bollards, like really serious bollards.
Yep.
So when you pull up to it, you have to swipe, and then you've got the, red and green lights, and you have to wait for the green light. Well, apparently I was seeing things and drove over the bollard, and the bollard came back up and got my car.
Jacked your
and
car
took
up.
my car and myself for a ride, and I had to get my car fixed and walked into the office, and I was the clown.
So everybody had seen that happening.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Great.
So you got lifted right off the ground then, Caroline?
Well, not literally.
Yeah.
Like it just kind of, the bollard in my car had an argument.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the
bollard went rogue.
Those bollards that come up from underneath.
I know.
That's bad.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's happened twice, so I'm not the only fool.
Oh, okay, great.
Who was the other person? Dob them in, Caroline?
Oh, it was Carolyn too.
I'm not going to, because
Why?
if they listen to this.
Down everybody. It's an opportunity.
It happened recently, and they haven't got their car back yet.
Oh. What was the cost on the damage?
Mine was little compared to the other person.
Right.
It was around $2,000, but that's insurance and stuff.
Yeah.
So I have to be careful what I say.
Yes, it's an awkward conversation with the insurance company.
That's embarrassing.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Sean.
I'm naturally a rule follower.
Yes.
So if somebody says there's a barrier, I don't cross it unless for a very good reason.
Yeah, especially if it's a safety barrier, because I think, you know what? They're trying to keep me safe.
Yeah, you don't want to be tackled by a bunch of monkeys, do you?
No,
Like having to kill it.
or my foot bitten off by a jaguar.
Yeah. There was an oval that used to be, it would have a fence around it and it would say do not cross in Vic Park when I would like walk home, and it was during the stage of university where I'd wear no shoes, and then I realised I was punished for that because it was full of double Gs. I know that's not the reason why we weren't supposed to be on it, but I got somehow manoeuvred my way right into the middle of the oval, and then suddenly was just surrounded by little angry spiky things.
And then you're in the middle.
And I was in the middle, and I had no way out, no shoes. By the way, always wear shoes.
There you go. Tammy, hello.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, Tammy.
All right, Tammy, talk to us about why we need to respect fences and barriers.
So when a sign says electric fence, it's probably going to be electrified.
Somebody's learned this the hard way.
Write that down before you carry on.
What happened, Tam?
I have two nephews. This is when I was younger. I was about 18 years old. I had two nephews. One decided that, let's just have a go at peeing on the electric fence.
It's a classic.
And he got zapped. He was getting zapped and continually getting zapped.
Yeah.
And the other nephew decided that he was going to grab onto the electric fence to try to move it away from where the other was.
Sure.
peeing.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Because that was smart. And the sign, there was a sign hanging on the fence that said electric fence. And my mother was standing there going, that fence is electric. You might want to not do that.
Yeah. Well, sometimes...
Now,
Yes.
I came to the rescue by just laughing at them.
Of course,
and my mother, who was standing at the switch, could have turned it off but didn't think about it. So they're rolling on the floor because they've been electrocuted.
Yeah.
Electrocuted.
They hadn't, but they got a good zap.
Yeah.
And they were like, to this day, they tell that story as the worst torture that had ever happened to them.
I'd like to say that.
As children. But it wasn't because it was their own stupidity.
Yeah, for sure.
Some people need to discover electricity for themselves.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
and
a farm kid.
And the powers it possesses.
This was a lesson that I learned when I was very little. And I knew that it was an electric fence, but I would have only been about 4, I reckon.
Yeah.
And I thought that if I took my jumper off and put it over the fence, that I would be able to climb over the jumper that was...
And that makes sense.
Yeah. Jumpers don't protect you from
do not.
electricity. That was the lesson that I learned.
It wasn't
that
a rubber
day.
jacket.
No, it was
And I'm
not.
sure Tammy's nephew has never even unplugged the toaster and turned it on and then weed into it now because he knows about electricity.
Well, that's a good lesson to learn.
It's a good lesson.
Yes, thanks, Tam. Jay's in Beelia. Hello.
Hi, good morning. How you going?
Morning, Jay.
Great, Jay. All right. Why do we need to respect these signs and fences?
So mine was a sign, and it was wild animals, which, pretty self-explanatory, really.
Was this in Beelia?
No. Sadly, this was actually in Namibia. So I was basically on safari. One of my friends was starting up a sanctuary.
Oh, wow.
So we went and had a look. So we were actually tenting, the car top, like the rooftop tent.
Yes.
And my girlfriend, obviously she's from that area, but there was 3 of us. So it was me and a Kiwi mate. And we woke up early because we heard these strange noises and we thought, oh, my God, that's the hippos.
Yeah.
And because we were right by a riverbank.
Oh, my God.
And,
wait, then, sorry,
and
you knowingly set up your camp near hippo-filled river.
Oh, yeah, they love it over there. That was the whole highlight.
But the hippos can't climb the car unless if you put a tent down, you're in all sorts, aren't you?
A hippo can get up in the car.
Yeah, that was it. And we just thought everyone else was asleep. So, of course, this is their jam. This is what they do.
Yeah.
So we thought, we're in our pajamas. Let's just go and have a quick look.
Oh, my God.
This is like a family of hippos.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit fitter than her at the time.
Yeah.
And we walked, 500 metres down to the water's edge, and there was a whole family. There would have been 12 to 15, and it was magical. Anyway, we're both, in awe, just going, this is just the most amazing experience.
The majesty of nature.
5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's nothing between us and them. Aren't they beautiful?
Yes.
And then we obviously disturbed them, and they came up, and their cute little ears started to look around, and we were like, oh, my God. they started coming out of the water and started to charge. So one charge.
And they can move quick, can't they?
60 k's an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know the game
cute.
Hungry Hungry Hippos? You know where that comes from?
But they're so cute. We had to literally leg it, and we had to run all the way back to the camp in our pajamas. So, as you can imagine, braless.
Braless.
Songs.
How is your friend going that wasn't as fit as you, Jay?
She was a little bit behind me, and
she got eaten.
And that was the thing. When I got back, I was like, "Oh my god!" All I was thinking was, "What am I going to tell your mother?"
Jay, okay, honestly, right? So you're running away from the hippos, of course, braless, and your friend's behind you.
In thongs.
Okay, so then you've turned around. Say this happened. You turn around and she's tripped, and the hippos are coming for her. Are you going to go back and try and pick her up, or are you going to keep running?
No, babe, I'm going to keep running.
I'll make new friends.
I'll pass on the message. I'll be the wise.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, you need the historian that tells everybody what happened.
Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Sean.
Yes, friend.
Could you conceive the idea of possibly even having another child? You have 4, by the way.
Yes.
You could?
Yeah.
This is news to your wife.
Would you be up for another kid?
Would I be up for it? No, I kind of think, I'm a prize stallion. You just don't shut up shop sometimes. You've got to get value for money out of this weapon.
But kids...
Speaking of money, you've got to pay for them.
Yeah.
But kids need glue sticks, Sean. Some horses have to be put out to pasture. You do realise that.
Plony knobs, I get it.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Plony doesn't make itself. That's right. So where do you think we get the hoof from? All right, so Nick Cannon's had his 8th baby.
Yeah.
Right? 8th baby. 8. It's the first one with his new partner, Bree.
Yep.
And he's named this baby boy Legendary.
Legendary Cannon.
I don't like it when people go down this track.
Legendary Cannon.
Legendary Cannon. Let me take you through a history of the children.
I hope he's got a bit of heat between his legs when you've got a name like that.
Well, mate, he must have a bazooka between his legs or a machine gun because 8 children. So anyway.
No, we're talking about Legendary. Legendary has to live up to that name.
He first became a dad in 2011 when he and Mariah Carey welcomed their twins, Moroccan and Munro, right? Which is...
Munro got out of that well.
Munro was all right, Moroccan. Following their 2016 divorce, Cannon welcomed his next children, Golden and Powerful.
Oh, God. Okay, give me more.
Powerful Cannon.
So how many kids are we
Just
into?
to be clear,
4 in.
Their last name is Cannon.
Golden Cannon.
Golden Cannon.
Powerful Cannon.
Yeah.
Come on.
And and luckily they're going with his name because her maiden name was Shower.
Oh, okay. I bought it. I loved it.
All right. Then he's had twin boys again with DJ Abby. Their names were Zion and Zillion. And then later that month, because he got 2 women pregnant at the same time, later that month, a chick gave birth to his other child, Zen. So all in all, we have Zen, Zion, Zillion, Golden, Powerful, Moroccan, Munro, and Legendary.
Yeah, Munro got out of it very well.
Next level. Imagine the conversation, though, when you find out you've got 2 up the duff.
Yeah.
Oh, at the same time.
One with twins.
You're like, hey, how are you, Sandra? I haven't seen you for ages. Yeah, I'm up the duff. Oh, right, great. Next one.
Yeah. I know, full on, hey? And then in Australia, it seems to be seeping in because there was registered a baby whose name is, and I do not kid you, Aioli Holden. Aioli Holden.
So garlic mayonnaise, defunct car.
When you love 2 things, you put them together. What
a boy or a girl?
I don't know.
How do you tell? I don't know.
Aioli would be a girl's name, wouldn't it?
But Holden, yeah.
I think it's Aioli Holden, so I think if it was Holden Aioli, I think it would be a boy, Aioli Holden, but who knows these days, you know. You do you, boo.
The Nathan, Nat and Sean podcast.
Now, we are taking our show to the streets of Perth thanks to our mates at Pentanet, kicking it off with a bang this Friday.
We certainly are. You'll find us in Averley this Friday, broadcasting from the Ellenbrook United FC Sports Hub, Nath.
Yeah, now, the thing about Averley is, and the reason why that we chose it was we hear that it's the forgotten suburb. Everyone always bangs on about how good Ellenbrook is or how good the Swan Valley is, and no one really gives any love to Averley.
That's right.
We're going, why?
We're going to give so much love to Averley that Averley's going to regret inviting us.
And we thought, you know what, Averleyrians would be so very proud and would want to come forward with information and tell us all about Averley. We chucked it up on Instagram yesterday, not one message. It's like, wait there, but we can see that there are some things around there.
So maybe people are just trying to keep it in so that they don't want outsiders coming in.
They don't want to be overrun.
13 24 10. Give us a call right now if you have experience with Averley, if you are from Averley, if you have done something of note from Averley, and get on air with us right now. You know there's something in that for you.
Yeah.
And let us know what's so great about Averley, because we've got a little bit of a show happening on Friday and it's going to be fun.
Well, Jeremy McGovern's going to join us, the West Coast Eagles champion, which is great news. We're going to have food trucks there as well.
Yes, there's going to be giveaways. Plenty of everybody's welcome too, even if you're from Ellenbrook.
True.
We'll just say you're from outer Averley.
Just FYI, oh wait there, no one has called yet. This is my problem. How can we champion your suburb if you're not willing to champion it yourself?
Not even Janine, who was the one that nominated in the first place.
Thanks, Janine.
Not even anyone that works at the Averley IGA. Not one person has given us a call. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Dave told us it has the best park run, Averley Park Run.
Really?
Oh, okay.
What about the Chapel of Holy Wisdom of God? Is that Averley or is that... Oh, wait, that must be Swan Valley. Averley Primary School. Are you kidding me? They must have some things going on down there.
Well, we've got a few callers now, Nate, so hopefully we can get to some very shortly and see what's going on.
Well, we can get to one right now. Hello, Tracy.
Hello, how are you?
Hello, Trace.
Do you live in Averley, Tracy?
I do, yes.
Yes.
I just moved in with my daughter and I'm actually building in Averley.
Oh,
Lovely.
Good one, Trace.
Lovely.
All right, tell us your experiences with Averley so far.
We have the best parks and gardens and areas to walk your dog and
Really?
Just hidden areas that are just so beautiful.
I'm looking at the map now of Averley and I can see a lot of green.
Yes.
That's cool.
I mean,
That's
that's
good for us.
delightful, but we can't interview the bushes on Friday, can we?
Well, I mean, look, you know
Well,
what?
that is a problem,
If
isn't
it comes down to a
Okay.
crunch, we will interview a bush. We have once interviewed a shovel
That's true.
on our show.
Yep.
Well, see, then the bushes can talk, can't they?
I hope so.
Yeah. Some areas you don't approach a moving bush. You never know what's going on.
No.
Trace, how do you feel about Ellenbrook?
It's an absolute fabulous suburb. I've lived out here for 25 years.
Yeah.
And I've lived in Ellenbrook, I've lived in Henley Brook, the Vines, and now Averley.
Okay.
So I've seen it go from a corner shop to a massive suburb, and the change is beautiful. It was done as a big infrastructure and has been built on since then, whereas, the likes of somewhere like Lansdale and Darch, beautiful areas, but they've managed to pick up pockets of land along the way and just develop them. This is a big overview, and it is a beautiful suburb.
So it's
and
well
it has
planned.
a beautiful community. Yeah, it is.
I felt like there was a bit of a sledge towards those
I
other
know.
places.
Yeah. Tracy hates Darch.
It's well planted too.
Every suburb has, its good parts and its bad parts, but overall, if somebody's in need in this community, it only has to go on a Facebook page or something, and the response is
Everybody
overwhelming.
rallies
It's
around.
amazing. And someone says, "Come on, if I need your help, meet me at the park."
Tracy,
There's
come
plenty to choose
and
from.
see us on Friday, okay?
I will do.
Lovely.
All right, let's go to Dylan, who is controversially from Ellenbrook.
Dylan?
There you go, guys.
Hey, good deal.
Okay.
Whoa, Dylan. Whoa.
We only want to know about Averley, Dylan. Definitely not Ellenbrook.
No, I'm going to tell you about Averley.
Okay,
all
cool.
right, Dylan, I'm
Take it
excited.
away.
I'm excited.
Well, Averley is classed as the Snobbyville of Ellenbrook.
So it's the fancy pants people.
Yeah, they've got a rule. You have to drive fast and wave like the Queen as you drive past.
This is good to know.
Yes.
Oh, this is
snobs.
good to know.
So
Sean.
we're going to the fancy part, not the Bronx. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, we class Ellenbrook How's Ellenbrook?
Ellenbrook, and then
real.
Averley. So we do know if people on the other side of the border are waving at us, we know how to wave back.
That's right.
From a Perspex box on the back of a truck. And just two fingers waving in their general direction.
Do you spend a lot of time in Averley, Dylan?
I'll try not to.
Well, can you come and visit us at least still?
Yeah, because we're going to be at the Ellenbrook United FC Sports Hub, which is in Averley, but it's called Ellenbrook, which is confusing a lot of people. Do you ever go to the sports hub?
No one wants to be known as Averley.
You know what, Dylan? It's given me an idea. I would like to perhaps pit a local Averley person against an Ellenbrook local.
Yes.
And then see who comes out on top. I don't know whether this is going to be a physical competition or maybe it's a competition of wits.
Maybe it's
just
a combination of both.
I don't know. Dylan, would you be up to represent Ellenbrook?
Oh, why not?
Oh,
I like your style.
I'll rep the 6069.
Oh, yeah, keep it real.
Sounds like you got a tat of that, just quietly.
I think I feel a competition going on.
Yeah.
Averley, the snobs of Averley versus the gutter trash of Ellenbrook.
Nathan, Nat and Sean is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.